How was dinner?
It's one
What's up, you Janus?
What's up?
Scary Greg. He's Mr. Janus Hugh, in case you're wondering, but we call him Mr. Janus sometimes too.
Hugh Janus at your service.
or just anus for short.
I like,
Yeah.
I went with Seymour Butts last time to fill everybody in if we're even starting the episode right now, but I don't know how I'm going to keep this up.
I know, right? It's like when you do your best in the beginning, it's like harder and harder to top
Yeah.
it.
It's like being a band that puts out that single, the old one-hit wonder. Can't live up to it.
Yeah. Well, you have a whole week to think of your next one.
Yeah.
Man, I remember all the one-hit wonders. Okay, so whenever I was in high school, one of the things I remember very, very much is like getting ready in the morning and watching MTV or even VH1. If you guys remember, they had the pop-up videos.
Oh, yeah.
And so I remember that you say one-hit wonders, and I was singing to Jeremiah the other day. I don't know if you guys remember this at all. It was not metal. I think it was a song called How Bizarre, and it's like
How bizarre.
How bizarre. Yeah. How bizarre. How bizarre. Sorry, I was trying to do that with you, Greg, man. It would have really
Was that Sugar Ray?
Baby, you're making me crazy.
Yes. No,
Was
it
that
wasn't
Sugar Ray?
No.
How
That was
bizarre.
OMC. It's like Sweet Susie in the
OMC,
front,
yeah.
driving down the freeway in the hot, hot sun.
Oh, how bizarre.
Yeah, how bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
Anyway, one-hit wonders. That was just funny. It came up earlier, and that was just something that I thought was a funny song, and I was like, "That's the only thing they did." So, hey, but good for them.
Nice. Yeah. You never know. They could make a comeback.
Here's
I saw on that same kind of front, but not just old school music. Creed is doing they're in the studio again, and they're about to do a tour.
Really?
I heard.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I heard they were doing I think they were calling it 1999 or something was the name of the tour or whatever.
So let's go there. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. If it comes to Tulsa, I know shit. I will absolutely go see Creed.
Do you remember whenever I think they were touring with Limp Bizkit? I can't remember if it was one of those festivals and they just crossed paths.
I think they got into a beef.
Yeah, they got into a beef, man, and Scott Stapp knocked out Fred Durst.
Did he really?
Yes, but Scott Stapp was a boxer.
Yeah, he also became like a severe alcoholic, and was like the reason that Creed broke up, and now he's like all sober and Christian-y. Well, they've always been a Christian band, but
yeah, a little bit. They've always had that kind of.
Can you take me higher? To a place.
I got to give them credit too, though, man, because back in the day, before I was listening to some brutal stuff, man, I was checking out bands like Creed, and then that ended up into some new metal, and then I kind of went backwards and forwards
and that sends you into Korn, and then all of a sudden Stained came out, and it was Stained was kind of hard, Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing Korn Stained in 2000, maybe 2001, something like that. Man, it's been so long. I still have a lot of those old ticket stubs, man. I find
was it the Pledge of Allegiance tour with Stained and Korn and Slipknot? Oh, wait, no, Korn wasn't on that. Never mind. That was Slipknot, System of a Down, and Stained. Never mind.
I do remember that. Rammstein was on it in Mudvayne.
They were in Mudvayne. Yeah. And
Mudvayne, when they came to Oklahoma City,
Mudvayne didn't show. That's half the reason we went.
Oh.
Yeah, but System of a Down was pretty sick. Rammstein was pretty awesome. And Slipknot puts on a hell of a show. It was a great concert.
That concert was phenomenal, dude. That was a phenomenal show. I'm glad I know you were there. That's a big memory of my childhood.
Man, I missed that one. I remember a lot of people talking about that and me being like, man, how did I miss that? But you know what's crazy is I didn't actually see as much of the value in seeing all these bands in one show back then. To me, I was like, oh man, it's I just want to see this one band, or something. And so it's maybe I just wasn't open to checking out these other bands just yet. I don't know what my problem was, but I missed out on that one. And I think it was just because I was like, nah, I don't want to go. And then I heard how great it was, and I was like, dang.
Right.
A big part of that was Rammstein, man, because everybody told me how great Rammstein was live, and I was like, no way, they only have like one song I like, and they're like, no, but their show is amazing.
That was my first concert ever. Actually, when I was 12 years old. No, that's right. My first show was Rammstein and KMFDM at Kane's Ballroom when I was either 11 or 12. And then my second show was the Misfits in Oklahoma City. That's what it was.
There you are.
I got beat up by a girl at the Misfits in Oklahoma City, actually.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me, man. It's the Misfits.
Yeah, dude. I got this girl. I just she was mad as hell and she was moshing, and it was my second concert of my life. I didn't know what was going on, and she just punched me right in the face. Braxton loved it. Braxton had a big laugh. But real quick, I just want to add this. My first concert of my life, I asked my dad. I was into KMFDM when I was a kid because an older friend's brother was into him. So, of course, you're just like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But I really didn't even know what the hell I was doing. But anyways, I begged my dad for these tickets to take him for my birthday to go to KMFDM. And he took me and my two buddies, and Rammstein opened up. And they had just released Du Hast just came out, but they didn't have I don't even think they had, maybe not even that song. It was 1996. Anyways, he comes out in Kane's Ballroom, which is like a 15-foot ceiling at best, just completely on fire. These lasers coming out of his eyes and all this shit. And he about burnt the damn building down. But my dad was so pissed off that he had both of his ears plugged in his ears and was sitting down in a chair, thank God, because about 6 songs in, this huge dildo comes out of this guy's pants. And this thing was jizzing for 20 minutes straight. I mean, it did not stop just going, dude. And I'm like 11 years old, just staring down at my dad. My dad's still looking at the ground. I'm looking up, I'm looking down, I'm looking up, I'm looking down. It was the most stressful 20 minutes of my life. But anyways, 2 songs into KMFDM, he's like, all right, that's enough of this shit. And he dragged us out of there. But that was my first concert. I just want to tell you guys.
That's pretty cool, man. I remember them.
Yeah,
I remember them. I
Rammstein.
but I forgot about the KMFDM until you just brought them back up.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
They got a bunch of, and of course, the Columbine happened, and those kids loved KMFDM. So my dad was like, "No, I can't believe I just took you to the concert of the Columbine shooters." It was a bad deal.
Yeah, I know, man. Columbine, man, that messed up a lot of stuff. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it did. Sorry, I kind of got a little deep there. My bad, fellas.
No, you're good. This is great because we are on episode 6. Episode 6.
Huh?
We've crossed the path of 5. This must be something we're going to keep doing. It's like we didn't just peter out. And everything's been going good on social media. It's actually been great. Brando, you opened up that Facebook page, so people should check that out. Lots of good information. He's actually putting more information out there on that than I was able to put out on X because the resource within Facebook just seems to be better. Like the community seems to be a little bit better. There's a lot of metal groups, so there's a lot of information that's being shared back and forth. And, probably things that I just don't even know how to find on Twitter. But either way, Facebook is awesome. It's been great to give the bands credit for some of the shows that we went to and throwing out some photos from that, like some of the videos and photos, and yeah, also just putting out information whenever the bands put it out too, like merch sales. Or Brandon, you put out that one thing that talked about the death metal bands that they're playing to deter orca attacks on boats out in the ocean.
Yeah, Aborted posted that, and I was like, that is awesome.
I was proud of heavy metal, because I was like, once again, dolphins and whales. I told you guys, and here we go.
Save the whales.
But yeah, episode 6, man. I'm super excited. So here we are. The menage a trois of metal is what we are today, especially with Mr. Hugh Janus with us.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
Glad you guys chose to be with us. So we talked about a lot of things throughout the week, as we always do. One of the things that we really wanted to focus on, or get started with, should I say, is 200 stab wounds.
Yeah.
Greg, you threw that out there, and I hadn't even listened to them just yet. And you'd mentioned them a couple of times, but it's like you have these lists, and you're like, got to check these out, got to check these guys out, got to check these guys out. And sometimes that list keeps getting shuffled because new stuff gets piled on top. And they kind of got buried for me, I guess is what I'm saying. But why don't you get us started and start talking about some 200 stab wounds?
Yeah, I kind of got introduced to them, I'd say probably 2 years ago. And I've been just dying to see them live. I've watched more footage of them playing live than I want to admit, but it just looks like an absolute fucking party. I mean, everybody, like the entire crowd is headbanging like where their head's gonna rip off their shoulders, and they're just a really good, like refreshing classic death metal band, and they just jam. Their riffs are like super catchy, and they I don't know, they kind of, in my opinion, follow like the less is more recipe a little bit. It's not like super fast and technical or super fast blast beats, but it's just like it's fucking there, man. It's just a really, really good, good headbanging riffs, and yeah, they're signed to Metal Blade, and they're out of Cleveland, Ohio. They've got one album. I think it's called "Slave to the Scalpel," maybe. Yeah, that's what it is. They got that, and then they've released a single since then. But I really hope they put out some new materials soon. But yeah, that was a band that I definitely, when we started doing this podcast, I knew you probably weren't too familiar with them, so I was just like stoked that you guys could start jamming them and see what you guys thought.
Oh yeah, I thought they were cool. Brandon, what did you think?
Yeah, I think they should consider changing their name to Chugosaurus. Man, that shit is chuggy. It is awesome though. Like, I'm super stoked to go see them this weekend. I'm sure it's gonna be
I'm so fucking jealous. Oh, dude, it's gonna be fantastic, especially with the Texas metal scene, Houston.
Oh yeah,
that'll be a killer show, man.
Yeah, on a Saturday night.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous.
Good. Yeah, so that was funny. Greg just poured out his heart on how he wanted to go see this band. And Brandon, oh yeah, by the way, I'm stoked to go see them on Saturday.
You know what? There's an open invitation. Anybody's welcome to come to Houston and hang out and go check it out with me.
Yeah, it's a little bit further than I'd be able to make it, but I wish I could.
I know,
it's also
man.
a little bit of a distance to Houston.
But
damn, yeah, and they're playing with Frozen Soul. I'm not really that familiar with Frozen Soul, but I've seen a big time buzz. I mean, obviously they're headlining the tour, but yeah, Frozen Soul. I see a lot of people talking about them, and I haven't checked them out yet, but I intend to. But yeah, you'll be seeing them as well.
Yeah, I was listening to them a little bit earlier today. It's pretty cool. I noticed they have one song. I can't remember what it was called. I've only listened to it once so far. I liked it, but John Gallagher from Dying Fetus was doing vocals on it.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
On that song, it was like, featuring John Gallagher. I mean,
that's also, well, that's something I meant to say about 200 Stab Wounds is like, in the vocals, at least, you can really hear the Dying Fetus influence on that. And you can even hear like Cannibal Corpse influence on there. Like you can really tell these guys have crafted their sound by like really kind of like honoring the greats. Sorry, I didn't mean to switch topics there.
No, you're good. They are the topic.
They
are the topic. Sorry, you're right. I know it's like a big song of theirs. It's called "Toe Rope Around the Throat," and I hate saying it, but that's my favorite song by them. I just can't stop. It's like one I can listen to over and over and over. Like driving down the road, I'll do some pretty stern headbanging.
That's a good one, man. I liked most of the tracks actually on there. I really actually liked in between. I think it's like the third and the fourth. It's Stifling Stew, the end of that one, the guitar riff's really cool. And then Itty Bitty Pieces, the guitar riff starts out really cool on that one too. I mean,
I was going to say, I like Itty Bitty Pieces. When it comes on, I'm like, oh, that's Itty Bitty Pieces.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah. That's great. I agree, Brandon. Whenever I hear that, I think the exact same thing. I'm like, yes. So, Brandon, you mentioned the sample. And you said,
"Oh, Phallic Filth."
The
beginning of Phallic Filth. It's a little long for my taste, but I mean, I guess it feeds into the song well. But I feel like it could be about half the length.
Right.
So what's funny is whenever I heard it, I was like, "Ooh, this is like a scary movie." And as I was like listening to it, I was like thinking, "This is a scary movie." So it was extra creepy for me because I was like, God, that's awful. But yeah, so it like hit me hard. So I was like, oh, get to the song. But it was because it was actually doing what it was supposed to do.
Right. Another Skin Milk is another good song. I think it's like the first song on the album. That song is a banger as well. I wish they would hurry up, and it seems like they're on tour. Every time I look up, they're like announcing a new tour. They did come to Oklahoma City and I missed it, which is whack of me. But I know they headlined the show, and it was probably like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember why I couldn't make it. It was a legit reason, which is horrible. But they need to get off the road so they can record a new album. They put one song out that was sick. I think it's called Monster. What was it? Masters of Morbidity. And it's a great track, but I just wish they would put out a new full length. I'm like dying for it.
So the Masters of Morbidity is the one that Brandon was talking about with John Gallagher.
No, that's not what I was listening to.
Oh.
The John Gallagher thing I was talking about was on Frozen Soul on their album Glacial Domination, but it was the song for Morbid Effigy.
Okay, I do see that. I might have to look into this and see what the heck this is talking about. It says Masters of Morbidity, 200 stab wounds, John Gallagher of Dying Fetus. But then it does say right after that, Frozen Soul, Morbid Effigy featuring John Gallagher. So I'm not really sure what I'm reading right here.
Well, there's two songs in there, but the one I was talking about was a totally different band.
Yeah.
There you go.
Frozen Soul.
Right.
Now that I see that.
Well,
so,
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's probably the answer.
It clears up something, at least. Frozen Soul, Morbid Effigy does have John Gallagher, like Brandon said. So I just got confused when I saw that. Here we go. Hold on.
Delete. Click.
I know. Well, sometimes, I like try to be on the spot, but then, if I'm trying to read stuff real quick, maybe I mess up. So it's
all good.
But yeah, I liked everything that we were talking about whenever we were mentioning all the songs, Skin Milk, How It Starts. Though, about that song, whenever it first came on, I was like, where is this vocalist at? And where is this microphone at in the room? It was almost to me like he was in one corner and the microphone was in the other.
It's heavy on the reverb.
It is.
The more I listened to it, and it only took, because the whole album's like 30 minutes.
Right.
So by the time I got through the first song, man, I was digging everything. I loved what the vocals were doing. I was like, man, this is awesome. But whenever I first heard it, my first thought was like, where is he and where's the microphone? Because they sounded like they were in two different spots. But I like what they did. I really do. I like what they did with all their sound, the album. I thought it was great. I thought it rocked. You said Chugosaurus. I say Jam-alicious because those dudes could jam. I think you said jammy riffs, Greg. So.
Oh yeah, big time.
I love that.
It's so fun to play along on the drums to it too. It's just like it's not that technical, It's like just straight to the point. And man, I appreciate it for that. I love my technical death metal and my fast blast beats and all the insanity. But I don't know, something about that groove, dude. Something about that groove they've got it going on.
It lets you release your mind a little. You can relax when you're listening to it. Some of these bands that we listen to, for as great of musicians as they are, it takes a lot of mental exercise to listen to it. It's like, it's great, don't get me wrong, but like it's nice to have a band like 200 Stab Wounds where you don't have to work to understand the song in its wholeness, in its completion, and like just sit back and enjoy it and like bang your head.
Completely agree.
Yeah, well put, sir. That was great.
Absolutely. And that's honestly, I know we're kind of going off path here, but that's that band Kubla Khan that I texted you guys about today. That's like one of the main reasons I like him is literally everything you just said. Sometimes it's fun to not have to sit and think too hard about music and listen to, I guess.
Yeah, I completely agree. That was, it's refreshing. And that was the best way I'd heard it described, to just be able to sit back and actually relax and not think, perfect. It was totally relaxing, even though it is still death metal.
If you're ever bored and want something to do on YouTube, check out some of their live footage. I think it's called Hate 56 is the name of the channel. It's a bunch of hardcore bands usually and like big festivals and just insane crowd action and wild venues. But he has some really cool metal stuff on there too. Hate 56 on YouTube, but their 200 Stab Wound sets are just absolute madness. I mean madness. So Brandon, you're in for a good, everyone, full entire front row headbanging so hard they're going to smack their face on the stage type night. So it looks like a good time. But yeah, those videos are killer. If you ever just want to crack a cold one and sit there for 46 minutes, that's something to do right there.
Oh yeah.
46 minutes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super specific. You've watched them all.
Yeah, I know them well. Actually, I think one of them's 48 minutes. I don't know why I said 46.
The funny thing is, you sent me one about that dude doing the front flip. Was that them?
That was Peeling Flesh.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that was Peeling Flesh on their tour with Suicide Silence recently, and they it was insane. Like Oklahoma band, This guy Michael has been in, a few local bands and been grinding incredibly hard. And the drummer Joe, but just crazy to see this band from Oklahoma City that was opening up every show all of a sudden get signed to Unique Leader, and then toured the whole country with these packed shows, and somehow the whole entire crowd is screaming the lyrics in unison. It's a trip.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get us off the track on that, but I was thinking they were the same videos. But either way,
no, we need to give a shout out to Peeling Flesh, because that other episode I cut out when I was talking about him. So that was a good shout out, Zoomy.
Yeah, I think we have tried though to bring them up multiple times because Suffocation is going to be playing in OKC tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
You mentioned that Peeling Flesh might be there, so I don't have my ticket, but I'm planning to go. I need to figure out how to get one online at 89th Street, but that's cool. I can figure that out. But I think it's $30 if I go tomorrow, as long as it doesn't sell out. Do you think it'll sell out?
Man, I bet there's a chance, especially because I know for a fact. I mean, maybe they're not on it, but I know for a fact that Peeling Flesh and Michael were both sharing it and all hyped up that they were on that show.
Okay.
But in the end, I don't know. They could have been taken off. I don't know, but they were hyping it up. But if so, I would imagine that sucker would be pretty packed.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm going to check after this and see if I can buy a ticket tonight. Hopefully, I didn't miss my chance like a dodo.
I remember when that venue was the Conservatory, and the most expensive show I ever went to there was the Faceless, and it was $12.
Yeah, sounds like the pink guy in Tulsa.
Oh yeah, good old pink guy. The old good old fart on the pillow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the only way to get pink eye. Oh man. Well, speaking of upcoming shows, there's the Suffocation one tomorrow, OKC. Hopefully I can go. That's the plan. I'll just be going solo on this one. But Brandon, you're going to be going to a couple. You're going to be going to Suffocation.
Suffocation Friday night at Scout Bar in Houston, and then Saturday night is Frozen Soul and 200 Stab Wounds. So yeah, it's going to be an exhaustingly fun weekend.
Right. That's great. I love those.
Sir.
Way to rock out.
Yeah, way to rock out. I like that.
Yeah, Greg, I'm going to miss you again though, man.
Yeah, I know. It stinks. I got to get up again. I got to get up at like 5 a.m. and do a 3-hour drive on Thursday morning. So wait, is it Thursday morning? Yeah, because the show's on Wednesday. So yeah. I don't think it'd be very smart to drive an hour and a half each way, get home at midnight, and then get up at 5 a.m. and then do a full 4 days of physical labor working. So I'm very, very upset again, but I don't know. I'm sad, but it is what it is.
When does the season end for you?
End of January. If anyone's actually listening, I am a waterfowl guide for hunting on the weekends, so I'm having to miss out on a bunch of good shows right now. So that's why I'm sad.
But he's good at what he does.
Yeah. Got to make that money. Got to make that money while I can.
That's right, man. Well, after January, it sounds like you're gonna maybe have more time to go to some of these shows.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if a good tour goes to Lawrence, I'll definitely hit that up too. And I'm gonna be on it, in it to win it.
Man, that's great. That's great. Well, Suffocation, they're going to be playing with
Incantation
and
Skeletal Remains
and Stabbing.
Sorry. Oh, Stabbing is sick.
Yeah. I forgot about that. They are.
I didn't realize that they were on the bill. They are sick. Yeah, I think isn't it a female vocalist? Am I wrong?
No, it is.
Yeah, she's a beast. Yeah, she's fucking hard as shit, dude.
Yesterday.
Yeah, dude. Damn, you're gonna see some good bands this weekend, Brandon. And you are too, Zoomy. But he gets to see 200 Stab Wounds.
Right. He gets a little extra bonus.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, that's great, guys. Super excited about all that. I did want to touch on, Brandon, what's the name of the band? I don't know why I keep forgetting their name.
Cruciametum.
Yes,
let's see. Or something like that. I had it right. Cruciametum.
Cruciametum. That's it. You got it, Brando. Cruciametum. So they actually put out an album. So I hadn't heard them, I'll start out with. And I think the album is the Obsidian Refractions. Yeah. And they put that out last week. And
Friday.
Yep. So I got a chance to check that out. And I got sick over the weekend, and so I was laid down for 2 days with a fever. And long story short, I listened to this album like 2 times, 3 times through. And one thing that I really, really loved about it were the drums. The drums, they weren't like just a bunch of blast beats. It's just this guy was so precise. He did a really, really good job of keeping me listening to mostly the drums. I liked what they added to the music, and I can't explain what he was doing any differently than anybody else, but I just liked his style, and he did a really good job. And it's funny, right now I'm checking out their lineup, and on the drums it says MH. See who MH is? Matt Hefner. So as long as I'm getting this right, Matt Hefner is doing the drums for that album. If anybody's out there who wants to, hear something new, check out Cruciametum, City and Retractions. Really, really liked it. And
All right.
and we also had an announcement from Hideous Divinity.
Yep, they'll be releasing a new album this spring.
So shout out to them. Excited to get some new material there. And Brandon, I was watching the video where they did like the endoscopy thing, or the endoscopy. I think it's endoscopy. But they put that tube up in the nose. I forget the song he's singing, but the lead singer is also a
I saw that
throat doctor, and his name is Enrico. But he was checking the cameras out and showing what the throat does whenever they're singing death metal, and it was pretty interesting. It looks like Predator.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I saw when Lorna Shore they went to like this big like Revolver magazine, had him go to a throat doctor, did the same thing. All of a sudden in the comments on every post, it was Hideous Divinity like, "Yep, we did it first," and it was them putting that video up, and that's how I saw it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So
I got
they did it a long time ago, like a good 4 or 5 years ago. Like,
oh yeah,
I think you're right, Brandon.
I was lucky enough to catch them 2 days in a row. Once in Austin, once in Dallas. About a year and a half ago. I went down to see Rivers of Nile at down in Austin at Come and Take It Live, and they happened to fall at Come and Take It Live as the same day with the booking as a tour of Karak and Gren that Hideous Divinity was on. And so I saw them that night. It was awesome. They had to completely share the stage. It was a super long concert. Then I drove back up to Dallas to see to see Origin and Wolf King the next day, and same thing, same tour, overbooked on the same day again. So I got to see Hideous Divinity again in the super long concert again.
Wow,
nice,
yeah, cool little story there. Figured I'd share.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I got to catch them in 2019 with. They played here in Houston with Cryptopsy, Benighted, and Aborted.
Ooh, that's a fast show.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
I hear those names and I'm like, that's a fast show.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of 300 BPM.
And that was a solo show. I went to that. I rode that one alone, man. Lost my glasses during the Saw and the Carnage Done. They flew back by the sound guy, and that was like, the last song of the night. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta drive like an hour and 15 minutes with my sunglasses on at like 1 a.m.
Nice.
Not
we
good.
found them. The sound guy found them underneath his table. It was great, man. That's what I love about the metal community. I had like 8 people helping me look for my glasses at the end of the night,
Hey man, your table's on my glasses.
Yeah. Jeez. Look what you did, you jerk.
Thanks a lot. Headbanging a little too hard, Brandon.
Man, the Saw and the Carnage Done will do that to you.
Is that the one they always do for an encore?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They might as well be up there swinging chainsaws during that breakdown.
That's amazing. I love it. Yeah, it's the highlight. I hate saying it was the highlight of every show. You see them, you're just like waiting for it.
Oh, there's no reason to hate that. That song is so awesome.
I know. Ken Badine is just something else, man. Everyone in that band is something else.
Very
clear. They really are.
That's some good stuff that we talked about. 200 Stab Wounds is awesome, and everybody should be checking them out. Looking forward to the shows that we got coming up. If anybody wants, to see some good stuff, try to hit those guys up whenever they're on the way through, if you can. And maybe you can even see 200 Stab Wounds, but or Suffocation or just, any good bands that are out there. A couple new albums maybe you could check out, Cruciametum, and, well, I guess an announcement of another one, Hideous Divinity, which is, big deal to us. So anybody who hasn't had a chance to check them out, they should check them out before the album comes out in spring. And aside from that, what else you guys got?
I was going to say that 200 Stab Wounds actually did just announce a new tour. So if you're into them, or if you've checked them out or listened to them already, go check out their social media. I remember, I know they just announced one. I'm not really too familiar where it's exactly going, but they are the masters of the road.
That's right. That's right. That's
besides that, I don't have that much brand new metal news this week. I don't know.
Trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting.
I came across a few things that didn't just come out last week. They've been out, I guess, like in the last 2 months that I was unaware of. There's a new brutal album by Cranium. Someone had posted online this, I don't know if it's Catholic or Catholic with a K. Dude, it's sick. It is so awesome. That just came out at the beginning of November. Came out the same day as Suffocation, which must be why I got overlooked a little bit.
And that's the band Catholic, right?
Yeah, with a K.
Okay, cool.
And then actually just, when was this? November 17th. I haven't looked into it. I saw this posted that John Longstreth is in this, but it's a band called Neurectomy, and the album is overwrought, been compared to like Brain Drill. So
I saw the same post. I saw people going, "Wow!" I've seen 10 posts about that.
I have it saved. I have it saved in my library. It's queued up. It's one of my next things to start really checking out. But just throwing some things out there that have come across my path the last week that have piqued my interest, at least.
Nice.
That's what I got.
I'm definitely going to check that out as well. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes,
sir.
Check it out. Thank you, Brando. That's good stuff. Well, I think if we don't have anything else,
I think that's it for me.
It's like Final Jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all I got as well. Usually I can't stop talking, and now I can't seem to figure out what to say.
No, I think we talked.
Anybody have a Clearly Canadian this week?
I did not, man. I did not. I'm trying to save money. Those suckers are like $3 or $4, dude. They're proud of them, but I see why. I guess I'm gonna have to get one again. I haven't had one since I was a kid. I know we've been talking about them. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Shout out to Clearly Canadian sponsor.
Oh yeah, I had to go get the
cool.
peach. I had to go get the peach, man. Shucks, I was like $4. Don't you let me down. And hey, way to go, Clearly Canadian. I was happy.
Yeah, they're not bad. Yeah, the peach. In my head, I was thinking this is gonna be the best thing ever, and it was really good. But I think that the strawberry and maybe the blackberry are a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll check out the other ones. I was, it definitely left me wanting more. And I mean, for like, a couple little drinks for $4, you're like, man, I'm still thirsty.
Yep. I just love that we're talking about Canadian again.
I love it. It's going to be like our recurring theme. As a matter of fact, we are not affiliated. We are the unofficial sponsor of Clearly Canadian. They didn't ask us to, but we are just taking it on. So everybody out there, you're welcome. Go spend $4 and get yourself some Clearly Canadian. It's probably more in Canada, or is it cheaper? I don't know.
I bet both.
Bottled there, so it's probably twice the cost.
Go get you 16 ounces of joy for $4.
That's what it is. Yes, like 12 or 16 ounces. Oh, good stuff. Well, awesome, guys. Well, thanks again for joining me. Thanks again, Brando, for keeping the Facebook page going. It is rocking.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I know Greg has jumped on there a few times also.
Absolutely. My bad. Definitely want to give Greg the credit. Actually, Greg, I liked the combo.
Yeah. No, I'll get back at it there.
I thought.
That was an accident, though. I accidentally as the page trying to be myself on that one. But I need to get on there. I mean, put a little bit of work there, start inviting people.
So I'm trying to replicate that over to the Twitter page. Anything I'm seeing you do over there, so that we're consistent, and people should be checking out the social media, because there's lots of different things that you can get from there, and listen to the episode. Because if you don't know to check out social media, and if you don't know to listen to the episode. So It's kind of what comes first, the chicken or the egg. You decide. You decide.
Nice. Nice.
All right. Well, that's all we got. So for the metal block, we are out.
Later.